Hello Internet, and today's video is going to be a book opinion. Those videos in which I tell you my opinion on a book, and today's book is going to be Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky, Abertalli. I know all of you know what this book is about. This is probably going to be really short. I don't really have much to say. I just wanted to say that I liked this book. So if you are unfamiliar with the plot of this specific book, I'm going to tell you real quickly. So this is a book about Simon, and he is a gay teen, and he is really struggling with the idea of coming out of the closet. Not so much because he's scared no one will support him, but because it's like something he doesn't know why he has to do it. Like, why do I have to come out? But I probably should. And he's also very invested into this other boy he's been talking through messaging and emails, this character named Blue, and he finds out Blue actually lives in the same town and goes to the same school, and Simon really wants to get together with Blue. So like most of the book is spent with Simon just being like, is that dude blue? Is that dude blue? Is that dude blue? Is that dude blue? And that is what this whole book is about. I liked it. I thought it was a nice, sweet contemporary. I want to see more books like this about queer characters where it's not just them being sad and horrible shit happening to them all the time, because like those books are valid, like we need those too, but not every single book with queer characters needs to be like somebody wanting to commit suicide, deep depression, like them being beaten every day, them being kicked out of their house all the time. Like not every single book needs to have all of those elements portrayed. I think those need to be in some books, but sometimes I just want like a fun, sweet book I can read and be like, oh man, that's cute. Like that's what I want, right? So I was happy that that is what I got here. I like the character of Simon. I thought he was really funny. Having read other Becky Abertalli books, I like how his character is, where Simon is very in his own head. He doesn't really pay attention to the outside world very often and is really like within his own head and like what he's thinking about. Like he's the type of person who's so much like thinking about whatever they're thinking about, they never notice what's going on around them. And I thought that was a really interesting thing to have with his character, and it's really interesting when you read other Becky Abertalli books and you can see how her main characters really differ. That's like something to take note of, but really doesn't matter in the context of this book unless this is an author you've read a lot of. But if you have read this book and other ones of her books, I do find that of value, because sometimes authors can tend to write main characters that are very similar in how they think and how they act, and they feel like just a blank slate each time, and it feels like you just wrote a different name at the top. So I liked that. I liked Simon's personality. I thought it was hilarious that every time like one boy said hi to him, he was like, oh my god, he must be blue. Like it killed me. I was like, same man, same. But that was something that was really sweet. There was one thing that I was unsure about in this, and when like I heard a lot about this book before I read it, of course, and it was around the character of Leah. And I expected more from her in this book because of how everybody like kept going on and on about her and how much they loved her. I thought she would play a bigger role in this book. She didn't. Basically, what it looked like to me whenever I saw Leah was she was being a bratty friend. Like, she was that friend that got jealous you had other friends, which I'm pretty sure I'm that friend sometimes. But she didn't really have a lot of character. That has nothing to do with Simon himself and like his story. That's just something that I noticed when I was reading this and having heard so many other people talk about their love for this book and talk about their love for Leah. I was kind of disappointed there because I was like, what are you guys loving? Because basically all she's done this whole book is like pout in the corner about how Simon never tells her anything ever and is not treating her as a great friend anymore, and boo-hoo-hoo Leah. And then by the end of it you find out Leah's been keeping like 20 secrets, and you're just like, why are you judging Simon then? Like, what? I don't get it. Like, to me, most of the book, Leah spent pouting in a corner about, like, how Simon also had another friend named Abby. Abby was great. I loved her. But I felt like Leah sometimes needed to get her head out of her butt and just, I don't know. She was being irritating. She wasn't so much a bad friend. She was just a really irritating person to me. So, like, I guess my main point about saying that is if you thought you were getting, like, tons of Leah in this book, don't expect it, because, like, she's in 5 scenes and most of the time she's just going and pouting in the corner or stomping off because she's not getting enough attention. She didn't really endear me to her, if you get what I'm saying. If you're curious about watching the movie before reading this book, or like reading this book before watching the movie, from what I haven't personally seen the movie myself, but like from the trailers and stuff, I did see the Love, Simon trailers before I read this book, and then I read this book, and a lot of the scenes in Love, Simon don't happen in this book. Love, Simon is its own entity that, yes, it takes inspiration from this, but this book seems to be different. So I think both of them can be appreciated for what they are in their own context. But if you're like, oh, I have to read the book before seeing the movie, I don't really think that's necessary. I think that if you watch the movie and read the book, you're getting like 2 different versions of the same story, right? Like if an author takes a concept, like 2 different authors take one concept, they're going to be similar in some aspects, but like very, very different in others, and how like they portray the characters and the actions and all of that, and what points they want to focus on. So I'm saying this as a person who's not yet seen the movie, but I don't think this is one of those things where it's like, oh, I have to read the book before I see the movie, because they're clearly different entities that are like related. They're like siblings, not twins. So I liked this book. I thought it was sweet. There's not much to it. I think if you're looking for a sweet contemporary that has like a gay romance in it, of like just a person wanting to find love for the first time, then reading Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda is for you. It's a very cute time. It's very, very sweet. It's adorable. I really liked it. I love Simon. I thought like how invested he was, and like you're spending most of this time trying to figure out who Blue is, and like I feel like Simon himself throws you off the trail, because Simon literally looks at every single boy that says hi to him and is like, I know this dude must be Blue. And I'm just like, it makes me giggle, because I know like if I was in that situation, I'd probably do the same. And like that's just such a relatable thing, that when you know somebody might like you, that you're just like, ooh, like who it is, like, oh, like it made me laugh. So I thought it was sweet. I think like if you want just a short, sweet book, give this a try. Give it the good old college try. You'll probably end up at least enjoying yourself. Like, I don't know if this is a 5-star read for every single person, but I think like 9 out of 10, you'll probably end up finding it a sweet story and not like hate the fact that you spent time reading it, right? That's my point. So if you like what you're seeing here and you want to continue to see more, click all those bunnies down below, and goodbye, internet.